Hey, what's happening, everybody? Long time. Sorry for the lack of videos. I've actually made a bunch and we'll be uploading them very soon. Been really busy with more and more and more clients, just private sessions and talking to people, and it's been incredible. Too much to go into, but have learned a lot more, and it's been really incredible sharing with everyone and just watching everyone grow and working with people, and really impressed with a lot of the people that I've been working with, and just very happy to see people growing and moving forward and applying these things and seeing the benefits, and most importantly, people understanding the importance of all these principles and techniques, not just for breakups, but just for life, Mastering your attention isn't just something that is going to help you through a breakup. No contact is basically a tool to help you put your attention onto other things, your goals, onto gratitude. Those are the two most important things for happiness, health, and building that sense of wholeness and confidence and peace and self-esteem. Those two things, goals and gratitude. So putting your attention onto those things almost always going to be a source of happiness in your life. So, for example, when I say goals, it's going to be what are the activities that you're interested in life? Do you have life goals? Are there things that you're pursuing, whether it's to run a marathon or to do a fight or to compete in a jiu-jitsu tournament, like I will be in a couple of days? You see, like, having goals help the journey. It's not about the goals as much. The goals are tools for us to enjoy the journey. Remember that saying that it's not the journey. The journey is the destination, right? That's the saying. Very true. Every day you're living, this is your life. This is your life. If you're thinking, oh, one day it's going to all be right, one day it's all going to be perfect, well, sure, that's an okay thought to have. That's, in a way, you're setting goals for yourself. But also, it's important to realize that every hour that's going by is your life. The people you're interacting with, the foods you're eating, that's your life. So enjoy it. Enjoy it now. Or maybe the word enjoy is maybe not the right word, but work on improving it, strengthening it every day. Improve the foods that you're eating. Get rid of more things that just don't work for you and just take your energy and time. One of the advantages of growing older for me, both in martial arts I've found and just in life in general, is that your energy is obviously not going to be as the same as when you're 16, 17, or 13. So what happens is you learn how to use your energy in a much better way. I train with people who are 20, 18, really young. I'm 37 now, and my jiu-jitsu game, my martial arts game, is the bulk of it is about how I apply my energy and how I reserve my energy. So using technique is one of the most important, helpful ways of saving your energy. Using the correct technique, not just powering through things, but to find out when is the right time to use power and force, and when is the right time to use technique. And technique is all about getting your body in the right position, making the right decisions, okay? Being relaxed, learning how to be focused and relaxed is such a huge thing. This organ in our skull, our brain, our mind, is one of the most energy consuming parts of our body. And when we are just burning energy by constantly stressing, overthinking, worrying, and putting our attention onto things that just stress us, hurt us, depress us, frustrate us, it's just a tremendous amount of wasted energy. So, even as a 37-year-old who's in a sport that's really for, especially the MMA side of it is, for younger, for 20, in your 20s and stuff, I'm finding that I can still very happily compete. And, as I've talked about in my other videos, there's fighters that fight into their, late 40s, successfully. Dan Henderson is one. There's loads. There's a female MMA fighter who's super inspiring. She's 39 and just had a UFC fight a couple of days ago, and she won in an incredible way. So what it is that we have all this power within us, and our attention is the way we channel our power, and learning how to store and hold our energy and power is an incredible talent that we can all learn. It's not difficult, through all these tools that we talk about, focusing on your goals, focusing on gratitude, meditating to help train and strengthen your focus. Anyway, so that's a little intro here. That's not what I wanted the video to be about. So some of you out there who are always like, get to the point, man, get to the point. Well, just got a message from one of my clients. She's asking, when is the right time to start dating again after a breakup? And I get this question a lot, so hopefully I can make this video nice and quick. When is the right time to start dating again? I guess a better question to ask yourself is, why do you want to start dating again? And let me paint a picture for how ideally it should go. After you've broken up or gone through anything, a traumatic split, divorce with your ex, there's this vacuum, there's this space left behind. And if the reason for why you want to jump into dating quickly again is just to fill that space up, well, that's not a good reason to start dating again, okay? Because the space that's left behind by the person who used to occupy it, all of and when I talk about the space, what the space really is the thoughts, the interactions that you were having with that person, the way they sounded, their quirks, the way they felt, just everything about them. A human being is an incredibly complex drug that involves all the senses. Can be a complex drug. I don't mean that in a negative way. But when we get attached to another human being, we're not just getting attached to one thing. It's sound, the way they feel, everything about them, their quirks, their imperfections, their perfections. So there are going to be things that are unique to that person that we miss, and then there are going to be generic things that we're going to miss about a relationship. And it doesn't have anything to do with that specific person. It's just what we miss about a relationship. And it's things like intimacy, having connection, having someone, being in a relationship. Just that in itself, instinctually in our DNA, we're programmed to have a mate. So just being in a relationship releases chemicals, releases, all kinds of things, thoughts, beliefs. It activates another state of being within us, and it's a lot of reward senses, a lot of reward chemicals, start to be released within us. Because our our DNA, our biology wants us to reproduce. So when we find a mate, we get rewarded with endorphins, with all sorts of different things. And when we lose that mate, we feel the absence of all those pleasure senses, of all the the reward senses and all of that. So ask yourself, are you missing the person? Are you missing just having someone, being in a relationship? Are you missing the sex, the intimacy, all of these things? So these are important questions to ask when contemplating when you should start dating again. And just to go back to painting a picture of how it should go, you break up, well, you're going to be hurt for a while. You're going to feel depressed, empty, sad. It's going to feel much worse before it starts to get better. Why? Because you've been up in this world of stimulation land, of like you've got your girlfriend or your boyfriend and you're doing all these activities, and your life is just very different when you're in a relationship. So in a sense, when people say, oh, I feel like I'm dying, when they're going through a breakup, well, it's in a sense, there's some truth to that, because the person that you were with this person, that life is now changing, right? So, and you're going into a new life. So there is that sense of fear and dread and anxiety and panic and all of that. But they pass, they fade. Our bodies adjust, we evolve. But not if we don't allow ourselves to adjust and heal and evolve. And during a breakup, when this hole is there, that is an incredible opportunity. As I've said in one of my other videos, which I think I titled, Why Breakups Are a Blessing in Disguise. Well, a breakup is basically an opportunity for you to create a new foundation, a new and improved version of yourself. It's a chance for you, now you've got this big hole that's left behind, to fill that hole with things that are going to make you a more happier, healthier person, a more whole, more confident person, and a more attractive person, someone who will more likely attract better matches, better people. Whereas if you have this hole and you're just desperately trying to fill it up, the chances are you're going to find toxic people equally, people who are in a similar situation to you. They say that you are what you eat. Well, you also attract what you are. So when you are hurt, when you are empty, when you are struggling and you're feeling needy and you just need to fill this hole up so you can feel that wholeness again, well, don't rush to fill that hole up. Use this opportunity to at least fill this hole up with at least 60% of your goals, your interests, your hobbies. Friends are fine. And on the topic of friends, that's what I would recommend. I recommend that when you feel ready, when you feel like you've put in this hole a lot of great things that have nothing to do with someone else, basically this is going to be like a hole of things that you're going to depend on for happiness, for wholeness, okay? And the things that you're going to choose to put in there should be things that are going to last a long time. And the longer the better. So if it's something that you can do your entire life, like yoga or walking or fishing, activities that you can do for your whole life. For example, if I want to do boxing, probably not going to be able to do that for my whole entire life. But jiu-jitsu, yeah, that can last much longer. Or swimming, that can last much longer. So be mindful of what you're going to put in this hole, because I don't want to use the word crutches, but these are the things, these are the foundations. This will be the foundation of your life. And if you think short term, just to put things in here just for the short term to give you that sense of wholeness, like just going on dating apps and talking to people and getting that wholeness, because you get that feeling, right? When someone's texting you, another, from the opposite sex, and it's like flirting, you get that wholeness again. You get that feeling of, oh, I feel good, yeah. But it doesn't last. It's very short-lived. So what you really want to put in this whole when it comes to time for the opposite sex or relationship is something that's going to be more long-lasting, a healthier person, someone who has their whole in a better shape as well. You don't want to find someone else who's also got a big hole just like you, because you guys are just going to need things from each other, and it's going to wind up being a short-lived, toxic relationship because you're not going to be satisfied with each other. Okay, I'm not going to go into the reasons why, that's another video. But it's just temporary. So in this whole, you want to put long-term things that are long-lasting. Relationships with friends, or your family, strengthen those bonds. Start to improve your diet, all the things that I always talk about. There's thousands of activities, from rock climbing to traveling to playing chess to, the world is full of things. And yeah, I know that when we're going through this very difficult phase of emptiness and depression and pain and suffering from, breakups or divorces or whatever, things like that, I know that there's this feeling of, well, I don't want to do all those things, that are good for me. Yeah, they seem boring. Why? Because it's far more stimulating and exciting to be chatting to someone from the opposite sex. We get that attention, and then there's that big side of that we miss. Remember, the intimacy, just having someone. Remember, biologically we feel that wholeness, that those chemicals are released in our brain and our body when we have someone, when we have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. We just feel more secure, more confident. We feel validated in our ability to attract the opposite sex. We feel the list is endless, the reasons why we feel so amazing and whole, okay? But we have to be strong. We have to allow this big hole, this wound, to heal naturally, and while it's healing, to be doing great activities, okay? I explained in this and some other videos is, imagine you've broken your arm, okay, really badly. What they do is they set the bone, and sometimes they have to put pins in. If it's really badly broken, they have to align it, and they operate and they get everything in the right position so that when it starts to heal, it heals in the right way. And that's the same here. If you have this hole after a breakup, let's say you were in a long relationship and there's this big wound, this big hole in your heart that's just now slowly healing. Now, while it's healing, if you're going to be doing things like Tindering or bumbling or whatever, getting the wrong type of attention from people, just the quick fixes, or, sexting or hooking up or whatever to be a short-lived, quick, whether it's burying through alcohol, through drugs, or whatever it is. We all know the toxic things that we shouldn't be doing, especially during a healing process. If we do all those things while we're healing, well, then guess what? We're going to build those habits. Those are going to be habits. And imagine if you're on Tinder and you're communicating with not just one person, but like 5 at the same time, and you get into the habit of doing that as it heals, as it solidifies. It's like when you pour concrete, that concrete is going to set. It's going to become strong. It's going to become strong again. Everyone out there, you should all know that you're going to heal. You're going to become strong again. Of course, it's a matter of time, and you can prolong that time into months and years if you're going to be still contacting your ex or looking at their Facebook and breaking the no information rule that I talk about. You are going to heal. It's important, though, how well are you going to heal? What shape are you going to heal in? Are you going to wind up healing into this person who is going to need 5 people to be talking to constantly and be stimulated by more than one person? It's one of the huge disadvantages and traps of dating is that you wind up creating a habit of needing new people. You lose your ability to be with one person. That can become boring for you. So I say be very, very weary, or be aware of, be careful about jumping back into dating too quickly, because remember, you are healing. And whatever you're going to be doing during that period of healing are likely going to be habits that are going to stay with you for a very long time in your life, until you decide to break it all down again and create new habits, okay? But since you're here, since you're broken down already, since the hole is there already, now's an amazing time to fill that hole up with amazing food, amazing habits, an amazing new way of life. And don't worry about finding a new relationship again. I keep digressing, but going back to the beginning of this video when I talked about, how it should go, the ideal way it should go is when you've broken up, you have the hole, then you start to come back to your life. Come back to all the things that you love to do. Drawing, hiking. These are just, I'm going to describe what I love to do, things that are about me. Playing my guitar, writing music, producing music, running my record label, jiu-jitsu, sports, fishing, gardening, cooking. These are all the things that make up my life, what I'm interested in. And with every single one of these things, whether it's gardening or jiu-jitsu, come with it an amazing world of things, people involved with it, activities involved with it. And when you dive into those things, that's where you're going to meet the right relationships. Because let's say I go to the gym and I meet people at jiu-jitsu. There's a lot of girls now who are doing jiu-jitsu. It's a great place to meet people. If I'm going to be at a competition, or like I said, it's a whole world. Same with hiking, same with fishing, same with gardening. So do you guys understand? It's not just that you're diving into your own personal favorite activities and goals, but that's the path that you want to be on, that you're going to meet someone who's walking along the same path, and then you're going to just wind up looking over your shoulder and saying, I bump into this person a lot all the time. And then that's when you say, hey, we want to grab a drink or, some lunch or something. And that's the ideal way for it to happen. But if you're going to be needy and wanting to get in a date again just from a place of fear, and what do I mean by a place of fear? From a place of just, you don't want that pain, the depression, you don't want that suffering, that anxiety, and so because of that fear of those things, you're going to want to fill that hole up easily, quickly. You're going to put yourself in more pain. Okay, you're going to create dig yourself a much deeper hole. So it's much better for you to settle and create a new normal for yourself so while this heals, and create an incredible new normal, incredible new lifestyle. And I think it depends on how long your previous relationship was, but I think a good guide is, at least give yourself 6 months. At least give yourself 3 or 4 months. But I think 6 months of just solid you time. It's all about you. Don't look for someone else to bring that happiness into your life. All this happiness is all from within you anyway. And then remember how many people out there who are in miserable relationships and wish they were single. Loads. So take advantage of this opportunity to rebuild, to re-strengthen, to strengthen yourself and to improve yourself in ways that you've never been before. So that's just a few quick reasons. There's obviously going to be a lot more, and I would say you can start dating again as friends. Go out and have dates as friends, you know? Remove the expectation of sex and romance, and don't go into it just, well, oh, this person could be the one, or this is the right, you know, no, you're the one. This other person that you're going to meet is just there, they have their life too. And they're going to be, it shouldn't be that you're going to be looking to them to make you happy, because that's how toxic relationships begin. Okay, and they will eventually fizzle out, because we shouldn't be depending on someone else for our happiness. So if you're going to get back into dating again, well, why don't you do it as friends only? I recommend that. I suggest go into dating as friends, whether you're a guy or a girl. You know, I'm always around guys in the gym, and I love to just have a coffee and be around that female energy. It balances out my life, you know, because I'm always around guys, you know, fighting and all this kind of stuff, or music. So go out, have a conversation with a girl, keep it short. There's no need to, like, you know, be very careful about, you know, if you meet someone that you like and you're being friends with them, be careful about spending too much time with them. No, get back to your life. Remember, there's this hole here, and you want to fill it with many things to make you happy. Not just, oh, I found a new friend and she's gorgeous, or he's gorgeous, and yes, forget about the jiu-jitsu, forget about the hiking. I'm just going to fill all this with this person. I'm going to hang out with them. And well, what happens when they leave or something happens? Then you got that big hole again, right? So use this opportunity. I know it's a hard time. It is a hard time, okay? But it's also an incredible time. It's an incredible time, okay? It's a time that you're going to be strengthening yourself. And I'm so proud. I look at some of the comments on some of the videos I've made. Just the other day I was looking at some, and one person put this comment of, I almost miss that breakup period that I was in. And I understand that, because during that period, it's a very spiritual cleansing period. You know, for me, I read so much. I was just doing a lot of yoga. I started yoga for the first time in my life. I improved my diet. I trained much more. I started changing, you know, I started eating sushi. I never ate that before. Now it's one of my favorite foods. So it's a time of rebirth. And I'm going to close by saying this. Not only is it a time for rebirth, but many of us go through breakups for a reason, because we want to change. We want to evolve, but we feel that because we're in this relationship with a person, we can't change because they're not going to allow us to change. The relationship just puts a lot of pressure on us. You know, a better way to explain this is, you know, I like meeting new people sometimes, making new friends. Why? Because new people that you meet are an opportunity for you to be your latest version of yourself. But sometimes when, you know, you have old friends and you try new different things, like try dressing differently or eating differently or behaving differently, they'll be like, why are you doing this? That's not you. And, you know, it can be hard sometimes to evolve, especially if your friends aren't evolving, or your friend or your family aren't evolving. So, you know, meet new people. If you want to have dates, again, if you've just broken up, I recommend at least 3 months of focus on yourself. But when you feel ready to date, don't pressure yourself, by the way. A lot of people I talk to, a lot of my clients, they're like, I just don't feel ready. I'm like, well, then don't. You don't have to date. Enjoy some me time, okay? Heal up. Don't be duped by all this stuff we hear out in the magazines or in, you know, the media and movies, on social networking sites, that, oh, you got to be in a relationship. It's all about, no. There's more and more and more people nowadays enjoying their life, their goals. Remember, goals and gratitude. Those are the two things that if you focus on, will bring that confidence and strength into your life. and the more you put your attention onto other people to make you happy, whether it's girls or boys or guys, whatever, yeah, you're going to be suffering. You're going to be needing. You're going to be craving, wanting. Okay? And we want to move away from that and to a place of contentment, peace, enjoying, being grateful for everything you have, your hands, your food, your family. And how do you become more grateful? How does it become easier to do these things, like focus on gratitude and your goals? By doing them, by simply doing them. Remember, what you put your attention on becomes more powerful. Okay? So the reason why you got addicted and attached in the first place to the other person was because you were putting your attention on it so much, on that person so much. The reason why you got so attached and addicted to sex or whatever unhealthy habits you have are because you've been putting your attention on those things more and more. And the more and more you put your attention on those things, the more they become more exciting and desirable and powerful in your life. So cut those things down and start to increase your attention into new things. And yes, at first it could take some time, but then boom, once the snowball starts to roll, you're going to be so glad that you did it. All right, that's it for now. And then I'll make more videos. I've made a bunch of videos. I'll upload them soon. All right, sending everyone out there all the best. You're not alone. Everyone goes through this. Don't feel bad. We all go through this. Everyone goes through this. Even people who are in relationships, there are many who are suffering and struggling. So embrace the position you're in now. If you're older, don't be afraid. Don't feel like you have to be in a rush. You know, just having that sense of being in a rush is going to actually waste more of your time. Put aside 6 months. It will go by. Put aside 3 months to just focus on yourself. Watch great YouTube videos. Go to great speeches. Go to TED Talks if there are any in your town. You know, go out, be around nature. It's so energizing. Cry if you want to. Crying is so powerful, and you feel great after you've released all of those tears. There's this huge belief in our society of like, you know, crying is lame, it's sad, it's negative, get away from me, be positive. No, it's one of the biggest problems with our society is that we worship happiness and we put down everything else. And it's the reason why everyone's more depressed and everyone's more angry and frustrated and anxious, because we're constantly just trying to just be happy and in bliss. And you get a lot of these so-called spiritual people who are constantly trying to be in a state of happiness and bliss because they think that's what the end result should be. And that's how they're going to be, you know, people are going to look up at them and think, wow, how peaceful and happy this person is. That's bullshit. Be angry. Be sad. Cry. Be depressed. Happiness, anger, as I say all the time, depression, these are just emotions. They're just states. You're not supposed to be happy constantly. You're not supposed to be angry all the time either, or depressed all the time, okay? So cry, let it out, it's okay, but don't cry too much. Okay, if you're fresh out of a breakup, I tell people spend 5 minutes a day to cry. It's okay. Give yourself that permission. Look forward to that 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but then stop at the end of that 10 minutes and get on with your day. Chances are you're probably going to feel really good after a good cry. Anyway, you're going to feel like, whoa, this is energizing for some reason. Well, of course it is. We need to release. We need to release how we feel. And the fact is that if more and more of us felt comfortable to release how we really feel, we wouldn't be so depressed or sad. There wouldn't be that much depression. You know, sometimes you need to just scream or, you know, just make sounds, you know, and just release. And when you do, you'll find, like, oh, I feel amazing now. You know, I just had a good cry and, you know, hurled up in a bowl in the shower and I was crying and making all weird kind of noises. And then you feel amazing for a month. Well, obviously, because that's what your body wants to do. Your body wants to scream and go, ah, or cry, or be angry if someone insults you. It's only when we hold all that in and think, no, 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 this is not right. I shouldn't cry. I shouldn't be depressed. I should be happy. What's wrong with me? It's only when you get into that way of thinking that you bottle everything up. And I believe depression is basically when you are not releasing a lot of energy that needs to be expressed. It's like a black hole. It's like when a sun implodes on itself and all that power just in the small area just boom, and it sinks and distorts space and time, creates a black hole. And that's what a depression is. Depression is like a black hole. And what happens when you're depressed? You wind up sucking energy. You need energy from people, from things, and you're just sucking it all in, but it will never be enough until you can get back to your goals, your gratitude, and rebuilding yourself. I hope this helps, and thank you to everyone for watching. This is just incredible, like everyone's comments and feedback and just the connection, and all the clients, everyone who's been emailing me and working with me. It's been an honor for me, and I'm just glad to have been able to be in this position to share and help, and I love doing it, and I'm loving even more seeing people come and spend some time and learn some things, open their minds a little bit more, and then just go off. And the best thing for me is when I get emails from people, months later, just updating me with their life and what they're doing. So there is hope. Don't feel there's no hope. Of course there's hope. We're amazing beings. It's just we get in the habit and we create these habits of thinking and wanting the short, quick, stimulating highs, the addictions. But they really hurt us more, and they make our lives more and more miserable. So draw a line in the sand and say, now I'm going to start. Today is the day. All right? And if you have any questions or comments, post them down below. I'll do my best to get in touch with you guys. Otherwise, if you're interested in private coaching sessions, you can always email me. I'll put my email down below. And I'll talk to you guys hopefully very soon. All right? Adios for now. Bye.